All right, so here again. Okay, so we should be live. Greetings, this is Ojambo. In this tutorial, we're going to do a review of the Qt Creator, which is as an advanced text editor for my particular programming needs. Okay, before we begin, quick reminder: I do a live stream every single day. It's at 2 p.m. Eastern. You're free to join and post any requests in the live chat about programming or lifestyle topics. You go to ojambo.com, you go to the watch menu, live sub menu, you can see the topics for this and upcoming live streams. And then of course there's a link here right to the live stream. You can go join and post your requests there, and you can also, if you want to do that, you can simply watch the video, which will also be embedded. I'll show you that later when we get when we scroll through this article. I'm also going to introduce because I need to upgrade my current workstation, so I'm not sure if that's going to be a live stream. I might do that as a live stream to test it out, but what I want to do is I want to show you. I have a very old system, as you guys know. It's from 2011. It's a workstation, so I want to upgrade it. So I want to talk about that, which I think I might make it another type of live stream where we just talk about specs, and you guys can also post your opinions or suggestions. That would be pretty nice. Anyway, this is about Qt Creator version 16.0.1. So let's continue. Oh, also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody who has subscribed so far this month. Keep it up. It inspires me to make tutorials just for you guys, just like this one. Okay, so what is Qt Creator? It's an open source IDE for C++, Python, and Qt development. So it's pronounced Qt. Hey Asim, how are you doing? Thanks for joining this live stream. Qt Creator is powerful. It's cross-platform. That means you can install it on your. I mean, I'm on Linux. You see, it's already installed. You can install it on Windows. You can install it on Mac OS, and probably some of the. Oh no, sorry, not. You're able to install it on other devices like BSDs. You know, those. What do they call them? IoT devices as well, because it's Qt, basically C++. Shouldn't have a problem installing it there as well. So it's streamlined to this development for C++, Python using PySide and Qt-based applications. For example, obviously this Qt Creator itself, I think the KDE project uses it as well, and you can also do some mobile development as well. I'm good, man. How are you doing? Hey, Asim, I'm doing pretty good. It actually finally cooled down here, but it hasn't rained yet. So I don't know. I just have to move on. I'm actually running low of water. It's still, yeah, the water is actually hasn't rained for almost 5 months now. So it's really, really crazy. I can see the clouds. For example, the last 3 days it's been very cloudy, but still no rain. The rain, for some reason, doesn't want to come to this, I guess, village. It's really, really, really strange. So what is so we already talked about that. It's developed by the Qt company, and it has an integrated debugger, profiler, and it supports the Qt designer. That's a WYSIWYG. WYSIWYG stands for what you see is what you get. Hey, Control Alt Delete. Hi, thanks for joining this live chat as well. For Control Alt Delete. One of your requests is coming up pretty soon. If it's not next week, it's going to be the week after. I have some really interesting things you'll be interested in, and I hope you also enjoyed the Python. I did the training. Where did I train? The GPT Neo. Oh, just a second. I have a scammer. Hold on. This is funny. Yeah, Ed speaking. Hello. Yeah, I should actually have put that there. It's like. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's a spam calls calling all the time. Whew. Alright, where was I? Oh, Asim is saying at his place it's raining. It's been like more than for 5 hours. Oh, I wish I would get that here. Any rain would be like interesting. My well is actually my well still has water, but it's like when I turn on the tap, it's like very little amount coming out, so I'm kind of concerned because I have to feed the chickens, and my fruit trees are like dying. I gave up on my raspberry plants. My blackberry plants, there I can see now the leaves are turning brownish, but unfortunately all the blackberries at the bottom, only about a few look like about ripe, so I'll probably pick those any day now, but there's still a lot which are kind of like a reddish color, which is really crazy. Oh, please bring that rain here. I would love it, man. Oh, I would love that rain. I need rain. Need a lot of rain. Okay, so oh yeah, the license is licensed under the GNU public license version 3, and also has a commercial license as well. So a project like the KDE, they can use it because it's the GNU public license. All right. So to install Qt Creator, I'm on Linux. So all I do is I just jump on the command line and I type this command sudo dnf install space Qt Creator. That's how I install it. Now, if you're in another operating system, whether it's Linux or something else, you can figure out how to install it. For example, if you're on Windows, you can download the official installer. So let's go here. You see qt.io/download, and you can see you can download it here. You can also try it in a web browser. So and you can see it detected I'm on Linux. That's why it's giving me this installer for Linux. You can also get it if you go to the GitHub repository, which is github.com/qt-creator. You can see here they will also show you how you can see the supported platforms: Windows 10, 11. They put Ubuntu for the x86 and 64-bit system, and ARM 64-bit system, and Mac OS 12 or later. But obviously, I said you can compile it yourself. You'll be able to compile it for other probably 64-bit type systems. Okay, so with that said, where was I here? Mac OS, you can also install, like I said, so you can use brew install, and then Qt Creator. Okay, now with that said, when you start up Qt Creator, you see I've already changed the way the default is. I tried to make it, I tried to leave it as plain as possible, but because it's a Qt program, obviously I'm using GNOME, which uses the GTK desktop, so it looks a little bit different. So what I have here is I have the usual stuff I do for reviews. So you can look at the screenshots if you want, but we're going to go through them. So this is the video I was telling you about. So this is live stream. You can tell it's live. Qt program, obviously I'm using. There we go, and live. Not because I'm also chatting with like a sim and Control or Delete. Okay, so what do I need for code editor? It has to obviously have code. It has an IDE. If you don't know what IDE stands for, it stands for Integrated Development Environment. That means it combines various tools. So you don't need to, for example, drop to the command line for stuff like Git and other things. Everything will be. And we will do a quick overview before we actually do the review for what I need. It usually has plugins and the theme. And for me, I want it to be open source not because it's free and open source, it's simply because I can I have the permission to tweak it to the way I want. Or for example, if I want to create plugins, for example, most proprietary software, they'll put restrictions on what you can or cannot do. They'll tell you can't do this, you can't do that. So I get tired of that, and I can tweak this to how I want. Like I said, because it's open source. If you notice on the GitHub, they said it's Ubuntu. I'm raising Fedora, and of course I just installed it for my distro. I'm saying that's because it's open source, you can do that. SCM, this stands for the source code management. For example, Git is the most popular one. That's all I care about right now. But there's others like Subversion and others. And LBM, this is just this means left mouse button. Okay, so with that said, let's do a quick overview of the Qt Creator. So once you run it, you see you can take a UI tour. So let's take the UI tour. So it tells you how you can you have the mode selector, you can edit design. I don't care about design. Yeah, that's correct. Control or Delete asks if I'm on Fedora 42. Yes, I'm on Fedora 42 and I'm using the GNOME desktop. As you can tell here, for example, this is my file manager. This is the Nutless or whatever I think they call it now, GNOME files. And as you can see here in my test description, I am using the GNOME desktop environment. Okay, so then there's a kit selector. This is for UI, and you can also click the run button, the debug button, build. Build is for things like C, C++. And you can have the locator, so you can, for example, you can jump to class definitions, and if you type C and if you type F, you can open a file from the file system. And there's also magnifying icon for complete list of options. And then here's the output, which in the bottom you see you can do a search, application, compile, and then there's a progress bar, and then you can escape to the editor, and that's the end of that. So you see down here it has a search and obviously search results. You can do the application output. Actually, let's click the search results, so you see this how it would look like. So you can search in projects. We'll go through this again when we do the other review. Then here's the output. Obviously I haven't done anything, I'm not going to compile anything today, and there's general messages, so I don't really care about that. So let's go back here. So under file, you can see the usual file, open, save, and the sessions project as well. And we have in edit, you have I should just show you that you have the find and replace, copy paste, the usual stuff, and preferences, where you can, for example, actually we'll come back to this as well when we actually let's quickly go through this. Okay, so you can tell it's not GNOME friendly because it's not fitting things. I have to that's why I have to make it larger. So as you can see here, you have kits. You see you can obviously have Python 3.13.5. It's auto detected, but you can add, if you have different ones, that's what the kit stands for. You have Qt versions. It detected that I have Qt or Qt 6.9.1 in my system place, and you see they have QMake. And compilers, I have C, C++. I usually, obviously in Linux, that's the default stuff. It's the GNU compilers. You can also get Clang and Clang and others as well. And you can see here, this is GNU, the debugger. LLD, that's I believe Clang. Yes, that's the LLM ones as well. So it's detected those ones. And devices, right now I have just my desktop PC. You can also SSH into remote ones. You can see here how to do all that. SDKs, I have OpenJDK 21. What else here? The Android. Oh, it detected Android. I didn't realize. Okay, because I know why I detected, because I put it in my file path, but it can't find where the tools are. I could obviously put that here. And for example, the NDK, this is the one for the native. If you're Android, that's where, so you can compile things in C or C++. I use this as well for logic. I do use C for my Android applications. Then environment here, as you can see, the theme it's using is hybrid. 2016. That's why it looks a little bit aged. So you know what? I'm going to change it to this one, 2024 dark. Okay, I'm going to hit apply. Okay, let's see if it manages right away. So it says I have to restart. Okay, so let's restart. Oh, that looks so much better. Does it now work? No, it's still problematic with the it only does full screen. Okay, so that's much better. Let's go back to, it's so much better on the eyes too. Okay, so we were, I like this too. It remembered where I was. I love that. Okay, so this is really hard to see. Okay, so the system, obviously the environment's Xterm. You can change this to a different terminal. So you see I can use the GNOME terminal if I want, or another one. I always leave it as Xterm. And you can, there's a lot of stuff. That's what an IDE does. On the keyboard, see these are the keyboard shortcuts, as you can see, like Alt-Shift-T and Control-Shift-M for editing, bookmarks, and all that. You can obviously add your own, or what else here? We have external tools, Qt Quick. So these are non-colorized because I don't have any. You can also edit with the VI. Most people don't know what VI. That's the, I guess, the grandfather of Vim. Vim stands for VI improved, but this is the original one, VI. The meme types. So this is, it will detect the meme types. For example, let's see here, which that PDF, so JSON, you saw JSON there, Kate files, Java, you saw that, and there should be a PHP. Let me see if I can actually do a search. PHP. Oh, here we're in the P's, PDF. I think we skipped the H. I didn't see PHP or Python here. Oh, that's because it's application. So those are an application. Sorry, I apologize about that. And then locator, C++ stuff, some bookmarks, file, and you can see others which are grayed out, or you can enable them. So, and of course, there's a text editor. You can change the font to, I changed it to Source Code Pro. I believe that's one Adobe created. And then there's behavior, there's display, behavior. You can change the indent size. I'll leave it at that because I usually use a 4K monitor, so it's wide enough. And typing, you can see all this, you can change it to your heart content, and then there's display. So you see enable text wrapping by default. I like that. You can display line numbers, or you can uncheck them. So part of this I'm talking now is actually in the review part, but you can see where to do all that stuff. Then there's a generic highlighter. So meaning that if there's a language or like a hybrid language, it will be able to detect it. Sorry, not a hybrid. What I mean is, for example, like some PHP files, they might mix them with, say, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP. So that way it will be able to pick it up if just some generic stuff. You have some snippets. Snippets, you probably use them, for example, when you open up a new document, you wanted to put the copyright or the date, fancy little things like that, and the macros, similar to that. And then you have the completion. You see to this case sensitive autocomplete, and how long it should take in milliseconds. You can edit all this stuff as well. Then there's a fake Vim. I'm not going to go through this, but that's basically Vim behavior. Extensions, you can use an external repository. There's a browser. You can install the extensions here as well by just clicking this install extension and finding it locally and putting it there. It's external. You see you can get it from the URL. So just click that, and you see the URL to get the extensions. Then there's help, and then there's C++. I'm not going to go through this. If you guys are C++, you probably already know or dislike it as well. See, I was right. It is called Clank. Yeah, I was right about that. Qt Quick. I'm not familiar with Qt Quick. And build and run. So build and run is obviously for Qt and C and C++ type languages. And CMake, I'm familiar with this type of stuff because I said I do this for Android development. And so let's jump to debugger. And you can see the debugger looks like it's only for, right now it's only for the QLM. That's the Qt writer. There's a designer. There's Python. Oh, good here. See language, language server configuration. You can see all that here. Analyzer, version control. So you see Git. So I already have Git installed. I use it, of course. It's funny, and it uses Git K, which is an old one. So I don't think I have that installed, but I can install it, and then you'll be able to use that to browse repositories. And Jared, I might do separate reviews for Jared and Git K. Code pasting, language client. You see Rust, Lua, QML, Lua here, terminal, as we talked about that earlier, testing, and that's it. So that's a lot of stuff there. What else? Is there anything else? That was under edit preference in the view, build, debug, analyze, tools. You see all the tests you can get in Git. So you can create a repository, and now once you create a repository, you'll be able to, I can read the current file. Some other stuff will come up as well. And then you have Windows, you can go full screen, and then the help menu. Okay, with that said, let's actually begin here. So this is my system. As I said, my system is pretty old, ancient really. It's a Intel i7-2600. I got this in 2011. 16 gig of DDR3 RAM. That is probably still pretty good. And I said my operating system is Fedora Linux 42. I'm using GNOME 48. So this is our test. We're going to have a very large file to see if it will crash the Qt creator. Then we have a regex file for find and replace. Syntax file, that's a PHP which contains HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and PHP, of course. There's a media file, which is just taxa penguin. Java is, as you saw, is 21.08 and PHP version 8.4.10. Python is 3.13.5, and the Qt version, I think this is actually wrong. Let's find out what the version actually is. So usually you go to about, it's 6.9.1. So I'll change this up. So that's the version I'm having now, 6.9.1. It's actually in that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, let's actually see, this is the test scoring. It has two parts. 0 indicates missing a feature, part of a feature. It will get a score of 0.1. So to eliminate the bias, what I did was I used all these editors for at least 3 years on different platforms. So I no longer have a Mac, but I had Windows. I did test it out on Windows and Mac back in the day, so that still counts. So, and if you needed plugins, I do stable plugins, but for my feature, for what I want, I try not to install plugins. I try to, unless they're very critical. So I just want to use the editor as is, as much as possible. So that way it's easy, because some plugins might only work on one operating system and the other. So that's why I try to avoid them. Not because I hate them, it's just that way. Okay, so this one, as I said, it came from the repository, from Fedora repos. It didn't come from the developer website or the compiled. I didn't compile anything. Alright, so let's get started here. I showed you guys how to download it from the developer side or from GitHub. The instructions are there. Okay, so the theme, as you guys saw, already changed the theme. Remember, it was like a light theme, so I changed it to a dark theme. And obviously you can create your own themes because it's open source, and light and dark, so I've got a perfect 1.0. Dragging and dropping. So I'm going to do 2 and 3 at the kind of the same time, just to, so this is the 1 gig text file, so I'm just going to go and drag it in here, and you can see it opened. I was actually surprised that it opened, because I was like, whoa, that is so one thing I noticed when I was testing this, I was just blown away. I'm like, because I remember Qt Creator used to be really, really slow, and even on this system it used to be very, very slow. So I was blown away that, first of all, it loads very quickly. You saw how even when it did restart, it just boom, just almost just like that. It kind of reminded me of one of those terminal text editors like Vim or Emacs. Really, really fast. I was actually blown away. Even opening a large file, see how quick it opened it up. So this is hex code. If you guys don't understand that, maybe I'll do a tutorial in the future. But what we want is, we actually want to go to the editor itself, and we'll be able to edit it. So clearly, and you can see here it says open. I don't know why it does that. So yes, I do want to open it. I don't know why this guy is here. This is why it's hard with this weird terminal and the glare. Anyway, so it does open, and what I can do is I can also open another file and put it in a different. Is it frozen? What's going on here? I can't. Okay, there we go. I don't know what is open. So I'm going to open this book.xml file, put it in a different position. Yes, I see. This is the another file, and you see I still have that file open. However, I am not silly or dumb. You can see, this it shows me which files are open. So this one or this one. So I'm going to take this file and I'm going to close it, because I know it's probably, actually, you know what? Let's open up the task manager and see how much memory this is using. Just give me a second. Oh, the fan just came on. So let's see. It's actually not too bad. Most of this memory and some of the CPU stuff is being used by OBS, so that's actually not too bad. Let me actually just leave this here, and we'll see what happens when I close this guy. So I've closed it. Does it drop? Yeah, very low RAM for that 1 gig file, so that's actually pretty impressive. Okay, so you can see most of this is because of OBS. Okay, so with that said, so that works perfectly fine. So number 3 passes, obviously. You can also edit it. It's instant. So for this one, you can do a tabbed view. So for example, I'm going to pick, which one is it here? Where's the PHP file? Oh, syntax.php. Okay, here we go. So we can also put the syntax.php file. and you can see here we have the PHP file, so you can put it in any position you want as well. So that's number 2 here, that passes. So you can, obviously multiple documents can be opened at the same time. You can also tear off. It's really hard with this to tear off. I think I have to right click or something. Oh, there we go. So when you right click, then I'm able to, you see I can do things like open terminal here. So that will be for another, I think one of the last one. I can close it all, I can close the other, I can do a reload, and because it works kind of like I said, a terminal text editor, you can also open it up in different, I can open like multiple versions as well. So that's why that one passes, so that's fine. Multiple editors, yeah, that's obviously true. So you can also create non-project files. So for example, what I mean by that is, if you see this folder here, I call it editor review. So I can simply just drag and drop it. It's not a project. It's just sometimes maybe you're writing a book or doing some other stuff. You don't necessarily need to have a project. Because for example, I'm not going to be running C++. There's no C++ here. So another thing you can do with binary files. So you can just drag binary files into it. This is kind of useless. Usually what I mean by that, what I really meant by that is usually there's a file manager. So for example, maybe somebody sends you an image, you want to put that image, it could be like a logo. Usually when I'm working on a website, it could be a logo. So you just want to drag it there, and then you can see the logo on the side. So kind of similar like this, but not in the main one here. This doesn't really make any sense. I'll close that. Okay, so as we saw, there's soft wrap. So can I zoom out here? I can zoom out. I'm just using control. So if you don't know what soft wrap is right here. It's this one here. It says an in-depth look at creating applications. You see this? Because the word application doesn't fit here, it wraps it to the second line. That's what, and you see the line number stays the same. It's still on line 9. Line 10 is where it goes with XML, but you see this is line 9. So that's what soft wrap is. There used to be hard wrap, but that was confusing. That is something little left over from the 80s. That shouldn't have been used from the 90s onward. Yeah, usually people want to do soft wrap, so that's what soft wrap is. What hard wrap used to do was it would break it into different lines, and which didn't make any sense because you clearly want it to be on one line. So soft wrap is always the way to go. Yeah, hard word wrap should be put into the dustbins of history. I like that word. Okay, so spell check. I think the easiest way to do spell check is to open up something. I'll open up this regex file and I'll spell something here. You see where it says color versus color. So if I start typing again, if I type color versus color, okay, so it does not work until you have to use this spell checker plugin. So I don't have this. I did have it, and I uninstalled it because I didn't want to. As I said before, I didn't want to use plugins, but it does work. I think I even took some screenshots of it. I might have taken some screenshots. It does work. I did test it. Okay, so word count is not available, but you can enable it by doing it like your own macro scripting. So if you remember when we were in the what was it here? See, scripting, you can create your own script to do the word count. It is something that I need, as I didn't feel like creating, for example here, text editing. You can also create a macro. I didn't want to do that because I'm thinking that is something I use all the time. Now somebody might say, when do you ever need that for programming? Good question. So for example, when I work on a website, when the person it goes to put in something, for example, this site, I'll show you this site here. It's vikingsandals.com. Block that for now. So let's just go to women's here, doesn't matter which one. I'm going to put something in the cart, so let's say I put this in the cart. So that one, add to cart. Oh, I forgot this is the mobile version. Okay, usually I use the desktop version. So okay, so I want to go to, okay, let's go to checkout here. So I'll show you where it comes in handy. So there are times when a customer is putting something in, so we want to minimize how many words they can put in. Where is it here? I know there's somewhere here. It's really hard to, yeah, there's one where we count how many words they're typing in because some of them put too long. Is it here? I think it is. Oh, here. Oh yeah, you see the number of characters. So because we found out that scammers were putting, like, nonsensical addresses which were way too long, so that's why we cut it. So what I'm saying, for something like this, when I'm testing, I need to know how many words. Of course this is characters, but you get the point. I'm just saying that there are use cases where I need to do that. So here's an example. If I'm counting how many words, for example, like a name, like first name or whatever, so I need to, that's what I'm saying, I do have reasons to be able to count the number of words, and it's important for my use case. Okay, of course you can also jump to line. You can use Control L, so I'm assuming you can use Command D in on Mac OS. So for example, you see right now I'm on line 17, so let's say I want to jump to line 4, so it's Control L, and you see down on the bottom it's telling me line column number down here, line column number. So let's say 4, I type 4, it says it's line 4, and you see the cursor went up to line 4 here. So you might say, why is that useful? Well, let's say it was like this. You see, instead of scrolling and going down here, you can simply do the line jump. Okay. Alright, so obviously that passes. Indentation, go back to the PHP file. This is the easiest way to explain indenting. So for example, you see this one says color 222. So let's say I want to put a text align. You see when it goes right down to the next one. So I can put text align, I can say center. Oh, you see this closing bracket here? If I press enter, then I can put something else. I can put like scale, something, do something. That is weird. How did it know I was going to type do something? That is super weird. So yeah, something like this. So that's the indentation, user-defined tabs as well. So that passes. Children automatically indented. That's perfectly fine. Fonts, you saw me dynamic. I'm holding out the control key, and you see I can scale. I'm using the middle mouse button or the scroll wheel as they call it. So that works. Find and replace. That's simple. Control F. So for example, that's easiest to do in this regex file here. So you type Control F, and you see it says find. So I can find color, the American spelling, and then I can replace it with a different one. You can also use obviously regular expressions. For example, I go to advanced. You can, in a second I'll show you that. You can do you can search in all the projects, or you can just search for specific the current file, the current project. You find in all project directories, find in file system, open documents. So that's actually pretty handy. For example, let's say you see here it says gvim. Obviously, we're not using gvim. We're using what are we using? Qt Creator. So if I had multiple documents with the word gvim, I can simply just type it in there, and that will work. And you can see here where it says search results, right? So you can also change that as well. So let me actually go back to the most minimal one. So you can see here the history as well. So let me just go from F again, and then you can do another search. So you can do multiple searches as well. So I'm going to close this, and I'll do this one. So I'm going to change actually gvim with Qt Creator. Okay, and you can see here I can just do one replace, find and replace, replace all, and advanced. So I'm going to leave that because I believe GVim is going to be the next one we're doing. So I'll just leave that as is, and you can see it highlighted them. So actually we'll keep this open. Just press escape to get rid of the search and the highlighting. Okay, so multiple language syntax. Yeah, we already did that with PHP. For example, you can see this is a PHP file. See, it's actually .php, and this is HTML. You see, HTML is properly highlighted, and here as well. This is CSS. It's also properly highlighted. This is JavaScript. You see, it's properly highlighted, and it is PHP. So PHP actually starts right here. So PHP is also highlighted. And if you guys are saying, hey, that's kind of a little bit basic, well, remember I'm using a dark theme. If I use the default color theme, it will obviously be different because it's just white. It's a white background, but it's a dark background, so it changes things a little bit. So that's it there. Code folding. So that's what I meant by multiple language syntax. So code folding. Code folding just means, like, for example, let me see here. It's easiest to. Here you go. You see this script? We have the starting script tag and closing script tag. So, and then we have a function. So the function has this block, this squiggly bracket. So if I click this button here, you see, that is what code folding does. You see, it folds in between those blocks. And also this script tag, you can also do by script tag. You see, then you close the script tag. So I can open the script tag and I can open the function. So it also works not just for JavaScript, also it clearly works for CSS. You see this one as well. You can see it works there as well. And it clearly also works for HTML. I'm trying to see if there's any HTML somewhere. Yeah, here we go. We have this div. So I can. You see the div, we have this form, and the form should also work if it's formed properly. Yeah, the form is here. The form should also work. I don't know why that's not working. The form should also work. I'm not sure why that's not working. This if statement also works in PHP, and here's another div in HTML. Did I not close this off? Yeah, this closed off here. Yeah, I can close that. I do have a form. I don't know why the form is not working. That could be a bug. Maybe because the size. Let me make it smaller. Yeah, see, it's closed. This is a proper form. I don't know why that one doesn't appear there. That's definitely a bug, but it does work. So I gave it a 1 out of 0. I'm sorry, 1 out of 1, 100%. Selecting multiple rectangular blocks. So I'm going to show you that in this regex file. So what that means is that if you press Alt drag, Alt means you hold down the Alt key and then you drag your mouse, then you have your rectangular block selection. So I'll show you that now. I'm holding down the Alt key, and you see that? Okay, let me zoom out in case you guys don't see that again. I'll do it again. So I'm going to start this way now. Hold down the Alt key, go up. You see that? That's a rectangular block. You see, it's like one big cursor. Then you can replace words there. So it makes sense for something like this. Let's say I have. Let's see here. Let's say I start like this and I say hello world. There. Okay. So what you do is, again, hold down the Alt key. See, I go there, then I can replace those. For example, I want to either remove them, I just press one back button, or I can replace it with a different one. I can say P or something like that. So that's what the rectangular blocks are for. Now, of course, you can use like Vim mode and whatever to do that, but if you have a mouse, sometimes you just want to do something quick, and that's how you would be able to do that. Okay. And what else? So that the drag just means you use your mouse. Obviously, you can also use the cursor keys on your keyboard if your keyboard has them as well. So you got a perfect 1.0. Now, multiple selection also works. That one is use the Alt key and your left mouse button. So I'm going to try to demonstrate that I should say here, hello, hello man, world, again, there is. Okay, so I'm going to select this and alt key, and that you see I've selected the word world and I've selected the word ease. So that means that I can replace both of them at the same time. For example, I can type the word body, and you can see the body changed where this was, I forgot this word, hello, I think this was there, and this was is, the word is. So that's what multiple selection is. And I said again, if you can use like Vim mode or something like that, you'll be able to do that. But I said sometimes when you have a mouse, visually, you can do that. Okay, so you know, of course, you can also undo. Oh, there. Okay, you can also undo it as well. I just type Control Z, and I believe it should be a Control Z for undo shortcut. All right. Oh, by the way, you see the edit now has more because we actually have a file and we have some things here. You see, if you don't want to use the keyboard shortcuts, you see the go to line. It tells you here. You can just use go to line. You can also select all. They're all here advanced. You see there are more shortcut keys, but you can also, for example, you can enable text wrapping or disable it for, I don't know why you want to disable it, but there you go. You can do all of that. Oh, I just remembered something. I just answered my own question. Why would you disable text wrapping? Is, let's say you want to do what I just did up here. I want to do the multiple selection. So because you notice if you wrap, when it gets bigger, you see when they wrap, you might not want, for example, to grab this guy here. So let me show you that again. So if I go here, you see the problem? The problem is it grabbed the word, the lawn, and fresh. What is this? Fresh snow. That's actually incorrect. What I wanted to do was just grab the beginning of the lines. So that's what I'm saying is that if I disabled word wrapping, then I'll be able to do that, because this would still be just hidden off the field here, invisible. All right, distraction free. Clearly you can do that. I showed you how you guys can disable the line numbers, and then you can go to full screen mode, and that's distraction free. So that's clearly possible. They don't have a dedicated view menu. However, I'm not going to deduct any points from that because clearly you can also split side by side. For example, see it, you can do a split as well. I used to use this before because sometimes I would have something like this line here, then down here like on line 15 I wanted to kind of do the same thing. So for example, copying this line here, I don't need that anymore, but I used to do that in the past. So so technically, because of the way my review is, it was important at the time. I no longer need it, but you never know, I might need it again in the future. But there you go. All right, the file manager. So what is the file manager? I'll show you that. Let's see. This is the welcome screen. And you can see here, I already dragged and dropped this folder. This is the same folder we're using, right? You see this editor review. So this is the our none project, if you will. So when I click that, you see this is the file manager here. So what that means is that I can drag a file into here. So let me go and grab a file. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna pick something else in here. Helpers, like this composer.json. So what I do is you grab this and just dump it in here. Oops, just a second here. So you have to drag it into the folder. Does it not work? I was able to do it. Okay, I don't know if it's because of I was able to do this. It does work. Or maybe it doesn't understand JSON. Let me pick another file. Let's try this one. Oh yeah, it's negative. So I'm not able to, weird, I'm not able to do that. But that is so strange. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Okay, so it looks like you're not able to do that. Right? What else is here? What else? The terminal. Oh yeah, the terminal. So for example, this file here, I think you right click, and you see you can it says open with a plain text editor, binary text editor, system editor, and you can also, you see open terminal here. So I'm going to go to open terminal here, and you see it shows the path. Remember, this is the path of this file. As you can see, it's in tutorial Aura PHP helpers app model, and that's the same thing here. So that's the name of the file. And to prove it to you, I can just type ls, and you can see it says peoplemodel.php. See peoplemodel.php. Okay, so I just type exit here, and it's gone. Alright, so with that said, the Qt editor actually really surprised me. It got a 9.5 out of 10 and 95%. I should deduct some points because now I'm not able to deduct it, but there we go. It got a 9.5 out of 10. So should you use this? That's up to you. Especially if you're doing C stuff, I would definitely use it. It's very lightweight and is able to open very large files. So obviously also large projects easily. It's really fast. For my use case on GNOME, there's a few quirks. Obviously, if it was in full screen mode, it wouldn't be a problem. Usually when you're running stuff like C++, you probably have a wider screen. But as I said, for my particular use case, I'm always doing multiple things. For example, what I like to do is I like to have my editor here, and then the request of a customer say, can you do this and this? So I have that here, then I just type. That's what I like to do. Now, I would not use this monitor. This is a 1080p, so usually I have the 4K monitor, and I have this taking up like half of the screen, and I have this on this monitor. But I'm saying I like to drag and drop. So this file manager here, the dragging and dropping, that is really. Can I? So yeah, I'm not even able to. Can I right click and create stuff? New, you can add new. Okay, so let's go add new. Yeah, so you can add new. Obviously I said C++ stuff, and you can see, so you probably need to have like a PHP language. So clearly this is meant for C++ stuff, Java and Python, and obviously Qt and Lua. It's not really meant for other scripting languages, even though it has Python and Lua here, which is really strange. Okay, so there you go. Alright, so let's finish this up. If you want to learn more about programming, I do have books and courses. I have the books on Amazon. You search for Ojambo, links are in the description. I also have online courses, programming courses on ojamboshop.com. The link is also in the description. And if you need help, you can book a tutorial or migration. So for example, I offer one-on-one programming tutorials and installation and migration services. You can book a programming tutorial at ojambo.com/contact. And if you request Qt Creator installation or migration support, that's on ojamboservices.com/contact. So whether you're starting out or migrating from another IDE, I can help you get started up and running with Qt or Qt Creator on your preferred platform. Thanks, Control-Delete. And Qt Creator is a fully featured open source IDE for building modern desktop and embedded applications using C++, Python, and with the Qt framework. It's especially developer friendly on Fedora Linux thanks to simple package management and community support. Whether you're an aspiring developer or an experienced programmer, Qt Creator is worth exploring, especially if you're interested in post-platform GUI development. I do want to show you how I installed this because I did promise that several times and I did not. So on on Fedora, we have something called software. So it's opening up. So this is it here. I'll put it up here for you guys. I think I should be able to, yeah, so this is the thing. So what I do is I just search here, and you can just type Qt, and you can type creator and press enter. You see Qt Creator, you see it's already installed, and this is it here, and you see it's installed. And here with the installation, you see it's Fedora link that I'm using. I use the RPM. You can also install it using Flatpak. So there's no excuse not to have this on your Linux distro. Especially you can install the Flatpak version if it's not in your repository. And you can see the installed size is 208 megabytes, and you see it's the permissions it needs. It's desktop only, and there's other things here, and you can see it's community built, say GPL version 3.0, and this one said it crashes all the time. I think they might be using the Flatpak version. As you saw, for me, it never crashed. Yeah, of course. As I said, I actually installed it on the terminal, and I do have instructions there as well. So on the terminal, you just type sudo. I'm on Fedora, so it's sudo space dnf space qt -creator. That's it, and it will install. So let's actually test it out. Instead of just talking about it, let's actually close it out. We'll try it out here. So I'm going to open up the terminal or console. I prefer the console here. So show you here. Zoom in, and I'm going to clean this up a little bit just to show you. So what you do is, I'm on my system, I just type sudo dnf install Qt creator. That's it. You press enter. Now to prove to you that it's there, obviously when you go, you just dnf search Qt creator. Okay, so proof I'm running Fedora 42. And you can see it's Qt creator. There's two versions. There's this i686, and this is for the 64-bit systems. So there we go. So as I said, because it's open source, you notice when you went to GitHub, they don't have a i686 version. So obviously someday, in this case, this distro packages, they did install one for that type of system, which is kind of surprising because I didn't know Fedora still supports it, but okay. And then this is the one, Qt creator, the 64-bit version. Okay, so with that said, and of course there's translations. I don't really care about that. I mean, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Obviously, I'm okay just using English, but obviously you see a lot of people speak different languages. Actually, English is not even the main language in the world, so there you go. I think Mandarin is, so there you go. So they have translations for you guys. Okay, so that's it. And let's wrap this up. So a quick reminder that I do a live stream every single day around 2 p.m. Eastern. You're free to join and post any requests you want in the live chat. I will respond. For example, Control-Alt-Delete is the one who mentioned that you can also use the terminal, and that's why I showed that. So thanks for that, Control-Alt-Delete. And also, quick reminder that you should subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. And also, I'm not sure if it's going to be tonight, but definitely most likely tonight or tomorrow. I do have I'm going to start a new series of how I'm going to upgrade my system. As you guys know, my system is really old. Just to prove it, I'm going to show you the settings. You guys are probably going to laugh at this. So this is the settings. I'm going to show you this. So where is the settings here? System. So let's go about. So as you can see, obviously I'm running Fedora Linux 42 here, and you can see my this is my motherboard. It's a P8Z68V, and you see it's an i7 2600. Like I said, it's really that old, and say 16 gigs of RAM, and yeah, it's really old. And and you see I do have a NVIDIA GTX 950. That's actually new. This I think I got this in 2016, and this system, the rest of the system, I got it in 2011. Yeah, so really old stuff. So I said I do need to upgrade it. Chromium is crashing all the time, and most likely because the memory or something is really old, so I just need to upgrade. But I'll show you guys. Well, I'm not necessarily going to buy like the latest greatest one. I'm going to buy something that's probably a little bit, maybe 4 or 5 years old, like something like that, because it's obviously been tested. The only problem I'm having is I do need a GPU, and the GPU prices are ridiculously. All the GPUs I've looked at, they're actually more expensive now than when they were like brand new. So that's the only hold up. And the problem is even the older GPUs, like ones which are like 10 years old, they're also expensive because a lot of people are doing what do you call it? Not AI. What's the other one? Oh yeah, the crypto mining. So that's why they're expensive. So basically, it's like if crypto mining is less popular like now, people will go into AI. You know, if AI is no longer popular, people will probably do go back into crypto. So that's the only hold up. I might I'm thinking about AMD and Intel for the GPU. I'll just have to do. The only problem is when it comes to AI stuff, AMD doesn't really take that stuff seriously. So yeah, NVIDIA is basically the king of AI stuff. So I might just that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at some older NVIDIA stuff, especially with a lot of VRAM. But yeah, I'll probably discuss that now. Hopefully you guys will help me out as well to pick it as well. The only thing is I'm looking at some server level GPUs, but they're kind of I basically just want to grab one and install it. I don't want to muck around with creating a custom cooler and all that stuff, because I said I have enough on my plate. I have to look after the chickens, I have to build a shed. Yeah, I just want something simple, just nice little drop-in replacement. Yeah, but we'll see. And you can also tell here that I do use Starlink as well, which is actually surprisingly pretty good. You know, the funny thing is, I live in a rural area and I use Starlink, and Starlink has been like rock solid. I mean, like rain, like really, especially like last year we get like really heavy rains, and this year the snow was really heavy. I did take some photos. Yeah, the snow was right up to like my knees, and I still have to go to feed the chickens every day. I mean, the Starlink has been really rock solid, no problem. The funny thing is, when I was living in the city, I was living downtown Toronto. I was with Rogers, which are the largest communication I mean, Bell is, but Rogers are up there, special cable company. And man, there were problems. I think like at least once a month, problems. The internet goes out, all this. And I was I needed for work, and I'm right downtown. It was crazy. But here, the funny thing is, I'm on rural, and I have Starlink, and it's been rock solid. It's amazing. And for example, right now I'm doing a live stream and I'm using Starlink. And not only is it for the live stream, I also use it on my phone, because the signal is not very good, so I do Wi-Fi calling on my phone. And you guys saw, like when I started the live stream, the scammer called, and you saw I was able to talk to him briefly anyway. So enough yapping here. So I'm gonna check the live stream. So thanks for that. I will end the live stream now, and I might do another one tonight, or I might do one tomorrow night about GPUs to pick for the new system. So once I decide on that, then I will purchase it, and I will show you guys how to do all that as well. I'm considering ditching the ISP and leaving the Starlink. Okay, so where are you gonna go? If you're leaving Starlink, where are you gonna go then? What are you gonna use? Are you just gonna use your phone? Okay, I'll reply to call to delete. What will you use instead? Okay, so with that said, I will. Oh, take care. Take care. I'll Control delete, and thanks. And everybody else, if you're still watching, thanks. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, or maybe even later tonight. I'll probably make it around 8 p.m. For the live stream, either tonight or tomorrow. But I'll still do the regular one at around 2 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, guys, thanks, and thanks Control Delete, and thanks also to Asim, and see you guys definitely tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and maybe tonight at 8 p.m. or tomorrow at 8 p.m. as well. So there are going to be 2 live streams either for today or definitely tomorrow. Okay, guys. Take care.